This is part 4 of Anybody Can Become a Homeowner segment. What is going on? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chia, and if this is your first time here, consider subscribing because I make videos like this every single day so that you guys can be educated, entertained, inspired, and I also share tips and tricks here and there about the process of buying and selling real estate. To all you guys that are new, welcome. And before I begin this topic on due diligence, you may want to go back and watch the first 3 parts of this segment first if you haven't done so, or if this is your first time here, because this is going to be the 4-part series of Anybody Could Become a Homeowner, and today we're going to be talking about due diligence. When it comes to due diligence, this is the most important part of the home process. In this stage, you get to actually hire a home inspector to come out and look out for any possible damages or things that may need to be corrected or repaired by the seller. And this could run from checking to make sure that there's no mold, checking the roof, checking the plumbing, checking the electrical, checking the roof, etc. This process right here could either make or break the transaction of this process. I would always like to say, if it's not a big issue, then don't bring it up. Especially if you're in a type of market where it's a seller's market. When they see that you're nitpicking every little thing, they may rather just cancel the deal than deal with the headache of going through all of this, repairing this item and that item. And remember that when you're picking out items that needs to be repaired or addressed, make sure it's not like a luxury item. For example, let's say the house has carpet and you request that the seller changes the carpet to laminate or wood flooring because you have pets and you don't want carpet. Something like that may be kind of tough to request because you see, that's more of a luxury and more of a preference. If it hasn't been addressed already in the beginning by the seller being sold as is, then you're probably stuck. And one little tip I want to share with all you guys before you even order the home inspection is that, did you know that within the first 7 days, sellers are supposed to disclose everything about the property that they know to the buyer? Did you know that? So this disclosure from the seller is called the transfer disclosure statement, or it could be a agent visual inspection disclosure from their listing agent. And both of these documents that they're gonna have to provide to you within 7 days of getting into contract will disclose all the things that they know. So sellers, if they repaired like the sink or did some remodeling, anything at all that regards the house that they know of, they have to disclose that. They can't hide it. They're supposed to disclose that. And if during the walkthrough that their agent does a visual inspection, they have to disclose anything that they see as well. So maybe holes in the wall, maybe stains on the carpet, anything like that, they're supposed to disclose to you. And if it's already been disclosed on these documents already, with you acknowledging and bringing it up again during the due diligence process, may kind of be tough to negotiate now because you have already acknowledged that you've seen it on the seller's disclosures. So that basically means that you're okay with it. Versus if you see it for the first time and you bring it up to see if they're gonna do something about it. One more thing also, not all states are gonna be the same. So you wanna definitely make sure that you speak to your local expert to make sure that this is something that's required in your state. And when it comes to ordering a home inspection, make sure that you don't just settle for the first bid you get. You might want to be encouraged to shop around because not all prices are the same. So if you go with the first inspector because he charges the cheapest, you may get what you pay for because this is the most crucial part. Remember that. So you want to make sure that when they do the inspections on the home that you're about to purchase, they do a really diligent job and they write out a full detailed home inspection report so that it's easy to read, easy to understand, and that there's also pictures as well. This is going to be really helpful when you're reading along through the reports, so that you know for sure you're not gonna miss anything at all. And during the due diligence part, when the inspector arrives, you may want to be present so that way they can walk you through the part of the house that they've done and what they figured out that needs to be corrected by the seller and so forth. Sometimes the reason why you and your agent may want to be there as well is because you want to also explain to the home inspector some of the things that you have or already noticed about the property that you want the inspector to look further in. Like for example, maybe when you came in, you noticed that the tiles of the floor was kind of bulging a little bit and there's a cross space. You may want to bring that up because now when the inspector goes underneath, he's going to check to make sure there's no moisture damage underneath. Remember also that depending on where you're at, your lender may require a Section 1 pest clearance. And what this is basically just the Section 1 trims outside of the property to make sure that there's no fungus growth, any dry rot, all that sort of things. Because if there is, the seller may need to address it and paint over all those items and repair it correctly, get it certified in order for it to pass Section 1 clearance. And you can find more about that by speaking to like a local home inspector that does pest inspections. Remember also that when you are at the property doing your due diligence, you may want to use this opportunity also to go and talk to all the neighbors to make sure that the area that you're buying the home is something that's really what you're looking for. Because the last thing you want is to move into this property and find out a week later that at night there's always party going around, and that may not be your gig. So make sure you talk to these neighbors firsthand before you move forward with anything. Part of the due diligence process is also the appraisals. This is where you work with your local lender to be able to find an appraiser to come out and make sure that the price that you're paying for the house is really what it's worth. Because the last thing you want is to buy something and know that it's actually undervalued and you end up having to come out of pocket the differences. Because in some cases, if it's a seller's market, they may ask that you come out of pocket the difference if your lender's not willing to give you the full asking price for the loan to borrow. So make sure you get this out of the way first so that you don't have to deal with that, because a appraisal can cost up to $600 to $700 depending on where you're at, and once you spend it, you may not be able to get that money back. So do your due diligence. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you guys made it this far, I want to thank you guys. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel because I upload content like this every single day so that you guys could be informed, be educated, and inspired about the process of buying and selling real estate. Not only that, but I will be uploading the next segment of this series next week, so you don't want to miss out. And that part is going to be about the closing of the whole segment. So you don't want to miss out, because this is the step before you actually get your keys. So you gotta be excited for that. But until further notice, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out now.